Hello friends, this is your instructor Prasanjit here. Today we are back with another episode of Getting Along with Flutter. Today we will learn something more about Dart programming language. As you have already learned from my co-instructor Rupesh about different data types and operators in Flutter or Dart programming language, today we will learn something more about the functions that we use. So the basic from the start we have some void main. What is this? This is nothing but a function. A function is a building block of a program. It gives us modularity and the ability to reuse our code again and again without writing them. So this makes our program looks better and clean. So for example, we want to perform addition on two numbers. Like we have here int a equal to 10, then int b equal to 20. Then we perform addition int c equal to a plus b. Then we print the result. Print result equal to $c. This is the string interpolation. Then we run our code. So we get the result here 30. So if someone else comes to our program and wants to add some different numbers, he has to write the same lines of code again. Like he has to again initialize int d equal to 30. Int e equal to 40. Then he has to perform the addition again int f equal to b plus c. Then he has to print the result. Then run. Then he sees both the result. So here we can see that these lines of code are repeated again and again. Like if we want to add some more numbers, we need to repeat these lines again. So here comes the function. So if we create a new function like void add and pass in two integers, that is the two numbers, then write a piece of code here like int c equal to a plus b, then print result equal to then we can simply call our function from our main function. That is, we can call our add function, add, then we can pass two numbers 10, 20. Then when we run our code, we can see the same output, that is result equal to 30. Then if we want to add two more numbers, we can simply call our function again, add 30, 40. You can see our result equal to 70. So see how many lines of code we have reduced. Like we need not write these lines of code again and again. So this is how the function in Dart programming language helps us. So now we will learn what are the different words written in the function definition. So the first word that we see, this is the void. This is the return type of the function. Void means there is no return type. So we can also write like can give here int. Int refers that the function returns something. Like we get an error here. The body might complete normally causing null to be returned, but the return type is a potential non-nullable type. This means that we have to return some integer value from this function. So we can do like this. We can return here c. So c is an integer type which stores the sum of the two numbers that we pass. Then we can receive here. We can create a new integer here. Int c equal to add. Then you can the value here, the variable c stores the addition of the two numbers, that is 10, 20, which is 30. So the first we have to write the return type. Then we can give the function name. So now we did it to the void, so that will not return anything. We'll just print the result here in the function itself. So the next in the brackets, here we pass the parameters. These are the different values that we receive from the calling function. Like in the main function we have called our add function and we have passed here two values. These are the parameters that we pass here. So we can perform different operations on these parameters. These are local parameters that are used only inside the function. So these are here we pass 10, 20. So 10 is received in int a, then 20 is received in int b, and in the int c we store the sum. So this is how a basic function works. We can define our own functions like this simply by giving a return type to the function, then giving the function name, and then passing in the parameters that we use inside the function. So we have learned how to write a simple function. Like we have the return type, then we have the function name, and then we pass in the parameters. Then we start the curly brace and write the body of the function. So there are different ways to write the function. Suppose that our function just has one statement. So why do we need to write the curly braces and do these things? We can there is another way to write a single statement function. This is called the fat arrow symbol. So suppose we need to calculate the area of a rectangle. So we can create a function. Suppose it returns the area like integer area. It takes two parameters, that is length and breadth. This is the fat arrow symbol, the equal to and then greater than. So then we write length into breadth. We end it with a semicolon. Done. Then we can, as it returns integer type data, so we need to store it in a variable. Suppose int a equal to area, then we pass in the length and breadth. Suppose length is 10 and breadth is 20. Then we print area of rectangle equal to, then string interpolation a. Then we end this statement with semicolon, run. See, so here is the result. Area of rectangle equal to 200. So what does the statement mean? Here first int is the return type, then area is the function name, then here length and breadth are the parameters that we pass to the function. So this is the fat arrow symbol. Then this means return length into breadth. Like here we had done earlier return C, like that. This statement means return length into breadth. So this is done. There are different types of parameters. Like here these are called the positional parameters, which are compulsory. If by chance we leave out one of the arguments here, like we forgot to enter 10, so this will show an error. Two positional arguments expected but one found, as we have not passed the length, we have just passed the breadth. So we need to pass both the values. So when we pass 10, the error is solved. So there are also some optional parameters. For example, we create a new function void display. We pass in two parameters int a and int b. Then start our curly brace. Then suppose we just print them. Print a equal to $a. Then print b So when we call this function here, display 10, 20. What this function does is just simply prints a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, right here. So now suppose that we don't want to pass b, we just want to pass a. So here if we enclose this parameter in square bracket, give a type. This will give a problem that the return type, the type that data type that is assigned to b cannot be null. So we can just pass in b, as in the function parameter we don't need to pass the data type. We can simply pass the variable. That will automatically analyze what is the data type. So we just pass b. Then if suppose we don't give here 20, we just give here 10 and run. So here it is, a equal to 10, b equal to null. This means that we have not given any thing to b, so b default value becomes null and a equal to 10, as we have passed here a equal to 10. Then we can then what we can do is we can also give some default values to this optional parameter. Like if we give b is equal to, suppose b is equal to 20, then if we run the program, then see here the b without becoming null becomes 20, because it has got some default value that is 20. But if we pass here suppose 10, 30, if we explicitly assign some values to b, then b will take up the new value. Like here, b equal to 30. This is called optional parameters, optional default parameter. We can also have some named parameters. Like let's create another function. Void display 1. Then int a. Named parameters are enclosed within curly braces with int b. Now we don't need int because int can store null type. We just need a variable. Then we can want to print the values. So now we call this function over here. So here is the catch. Like b is the name parameter. Here what we did, but if when we passed 10 first, 10 was automatically assigned to b. 10 was automatically assigned to a. So here, but here if we write like this, b colon 10, then 20, comma 20. We need to specify the type, the variable to which value we are passing. Like we are passing 20 to b, so we need to specify it here. So if in a function we have 10 to 20 parameters, we need to remember the position of each parameter. So that will cause a great problem. So if we enclose all the parameters within curly braces, then we can easily access the parameters with their names. We don't need to remember the position of the parameters. So if we run, let's see, age equal 20, age equal 10, b equal 20. So if we enclose a also in curly braces, like if we enclose both a and b in curly braces, so here what we need to do, so here see there is an error, too many positional arguments but one found. There because we have not received any positional argument, but we have passed one positional argument here. So here what can do is, like I have written b second, but I can pass b first, like b 10, then a 20. This should not be an issue. Just see. Oh, sorry, instead of comma. So now see, a is equal to 20, b is equal to 10. Here we have received a first, but here we have passed a second. So no need of the position. We just need the names of the variables. So this is all about functions.